everyone, and welcome back to Family Life Builders TV, where we're building homes and transforming society. Again, my name is Tosin Opelova, and I am a transformational coach. Today, we are going to be talking about one crucial issue that people are not really talking about, especially in the African settings. We believe that we should train our boys not to be emotional. I've had a lot of women when they're trying to pet their boys, they will say, "Big boys don't cry." Well, I don't know why big boys will not cry. Um, so in this video, we're going to be looking at few things I posted in the community yesterday, and I'm actually going to be reading from what our family on this channel said about this issue. But quickly, let me just run through what I have in mind about this. All right, so the thing is, why should we think a man should not cry? Or let me say, is it okay for a man to cry? Psychology today says it's okay for a man to cry. In fact, it says real men cry. Yes, that's the truth. Real men cry. A sincere man cry. And why will a sincere man cry? Because they are just like you. And why should we cry? Crying is an important signal or mechanism for connection and empathy. So if you don't cry, if you don't feel pain, it's going to be difficult for you to feel pain for another person as well. It's that simple. And that's why you see that unconsciously when people tell you that big boys don't cry to a child, you are unconsciously raising a narcissist. Because the truth is, you're telling that child it's not okay to have emotion. It's not okay to have empathy towards another person. Because what builds empathy in us is the fact that we feel the pain of another person because we've been there before. So when you've been there before, it's easier for you to feel the pain of the other person. But if we're building them not to feel pain, then it's difficult for them to connect with another person. So, what's the implication of not crying? There are certain medical issues that in therapy we call it psychosomatic. For example, you will see someone who is going home, and if they close by 5 o'clock, they are okay from morning when they got to the office. Then at 5 o'clock when they are going home, they become sick. They start having headache. So once they get back to work again, the following day they are okay. For people like that, it is psychosomatic. But people who open up until they stay longer in therapy before they really let you know what has been going on in their life. So the same thing, if a man is not crying, if a man is bottling everything up, they have the tendency to have this form of illness. And some of the things that you will notice might be acute pain, muscle ache or soreness, neurological problems, gastrointestinal complaint. Yes, they can have indigestion. Then sexual issues. It's difficult for them to, feel erection or want to have sex, because deep within them something is just going on. They can have eating disorder, they can become alcoholic, they can have a drug abuse issue, they can start having tendency to use marijuana, they can have depression, they can have anxiety. So these are some of the things that might go wrong if we say a man should not have emotions. Because why? They will use that thing to nurse their pain. And of course, a woman also will do that. We use everyone, there's one thing or the other that everyone uses to nurse their pain. So we have to understand this. It's very, very essential. Now, apart from those implications, what to do when a man shows emotion? What should you do? when your husband is showing emotion, when your husband is crying, maybe they are going through something, or maybe they offended you, or most especially when life is not the way they want, and they are trying to show emotion, they are trying to let you know, hey, this is not easy for me, and in the process they probably burst into tears. What should you do? The first thing you want to do is you want to listen to them. Sometimes everyone just needs someone to listen. Every one of us, we just need someone. Sometimes we have the solution, but because of the state of our mind, we really can't, give the solution, simply because we are in a bad state. I remember when you are not when you're having anxiety, when you're having a lot of trouble, when you're having a lot going on for you, what usually happen is cortisol is a stressful hormone, is a stress hormone. It will be released, so it's going to cover the part of your brain that should be able to think, so you won't be able to think. And once you can't think right, you really can't act right, so that becomes a very big problem for you. But when you have someone who is willing to listen to you, that alone could bring you back into the state of calmness. Okay, now the next thing you want to do, you want to comfort without judging them. Sometimes what they've done is a function of what they're supposed to do that they didn't do right. So when that happens, what should you do? Just comfort them. Don't raise the issue that, hey, you're supposed to do this, you did not do it, this is your problem, it's not my problem. You really have to look at that, and just comfort them, say everything will be all right. That thing is very fast to my mouth. Everything will be all right. It is well. And there's power in your word. That's the truth. There's power in your word. If you say it is well, trust me, it's going to be well. You might not see it, but it's really going to be well. So you have to get to that space of being able to comfort them. All right. So the next thing you want to do is you want to convert the conversation. So convert the conversation to solution. So most of the time, when they tell you their mind, when it's not the time for you as a woman to also swing into emotion, you will have the tendency to want to. But when the other person, because here's the truth, let me back up a bit. We are all born as emotional beings. You and I, man, woman, non-binary, every one of us, we are made with the spirit, the soul, and the body. So we all have the three. Now, because you have the three, your emotions does not have gender. Your emotions cannot recognize whether you are a girl, whether you're a boy, whatever you are. Your emotion does not recognize that. So the more reason why every one of us should learn how to do that, because you have the capacity to do so. You just don't know how. And I'm going to tell you how today. So when you are listening to the other person, listen to what they are saying, not how they are acting when they are saying it. So they might be talking and be crying. If you connect yourself to their tears, you will not be able to give them solution. But if you listen to what they are saying, you will be listening for solution with empathy. So you have to help them convert what they are saying to solution. So the next thing I will say, if someone is having an emotional conversation with me, be it my husband, be it my client, be it my friend, when they're having an emotional conversation with me, all I have to do, especially if it's my friend or my husband or my children, what I will say is, okay, so what will you love me to do? about this? That's the number one question. Most of the time, they will not answer you. It will take a while for them to come to a space of knowing what they really want to say or what they really want you to do. Then the next thing I will ask them is, what have you done about this? The next thing I will ask them is, what do you want to do about this? If it's a client, we don't suggest. But if it's my husband or my children or my friend, then I can start suggesting. And if you realize that what they are going through is beyond what you can manage, when you give them suggestion of the possible things that they can do, sometimes they just need to talk to someone that you know, but their mind wasn't there. So once you do that for them, they will be able to come around and say, hey, that's true. Then they will talk to the person and there will be solution. But another crucial thing is when people are emotional, it helps them to release all the pain. So once they cry, they will release the pain. You also want to go further and ask them, you see, things happen today. Things happen. Sometimes people just laugh, but deep within them, they have a lot going for them. So is it not okay for them to really cry and you see that things are going on in their life? I don't feel I'm going to read what many of our friends on this channel, what they said about the post. I'm going to be reading them. For me, I don't think a man is weak when he cries. I feel all you have to do to go further to help them is you ask them questions like, oh, are you suicidal? Go straight and ask them, are you suicidal? What are you thinking about? Especially when you see that they've withdrawn from the normal activity. I was speaking to someone on Friday and they told me how their husband shot himself 7 years ago and they are really yet to recover from that. You don't want to be in that space. You don't want to be in that space simply because you feel a man should not cry. You don't want to be in that space simply because you feel a man should not have emotion. For crying out loud, he has a spirit, soul, and body, and blood flows in his system. So he has the tendency to do everything that every other person is doing or that they should do. So what am I saying? Encourage them to see a therapist if they are suicidal. Trust me, if they really have a thought, a plan, if it's going beyond ideation and they already have a plan, maybe they just told you that actually sometimes they feel like taking, maybe a medication that you have at home and all that, call 911. Let them see a therapist. Don't hide it. Don't keep it. This is very, very crucial. It's very, very crucial. He's alive. You are fighting. It's okay. If he's no more there, you will feel it. That's the truth. That's the truth. And that's why I pity you women that you fight your husband like you are not going to live together again. You fight your husband like you're not going to see each other again. You fight your husband like you're not going to talk to each other again. Why? Why? That we have misunderstanding does not mean we don't love each other again. We just need to come to that space of everyone telling each other what we don't like. And once we do that and everybody try to adjust, we move forward. So when they come around and they're emotional, I don't feel it is wrong for a man to show emotions. The only reason why I will say it is not okay for a man to show emotions, or when I feel like this is too much, this has become a problem, is when the man is trying to use the crying to escape from punishment, including a child as well. You don't cry to escape a punishment. You cry to show what is going on that overwhelms you, and you need someone to listen, and you want to offload the stress. Let me give you an example. Your spouse is always doing something and you are always complaining. Let me give you maybe a practical one. Maybe he's always overspending and you really don't know what he's spending this money on, and then the next thing he started crying. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Okay. It's not acceptable. That's a very very big problem. um so you should look into that. It's very essential. A man does not cry to escape punishment. Same thing with your children. They shouldn't use crying to escape punishments. So now I'm going to be reading about, let me see. Thank you everyone again for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you. Let me play some background music here. Uh, okay. I think I like the music. All right. So I'm going to add this to the stream right now, and let's talk about what our people said. Uh, all right. So I'm trying to make myself bigger. Okay, yes, this. Okay, so I'm going to also wear my glasses so that I can see it's clearer. All right. So I do hope you'll be able to see it very well. Okay, so I'm going to be reading the comments. Let's see. All right. So in that post, I said, is it okay for a man to show emotions? Should a man cry? I said I'll be reading your comments. So I'm fulfilling my purpose. I'm fulfilling my side of the story. All right. So, oh, you're not seeing it well. So I'm going to make it bigger and I'm going to make myself smaller. All right. I think it's better this way. Okay. So for me, I told my son it's okay to cry, and that does not make him less than a man. I feel the gender thing is crippling our world of sincerity and true relationship. And I said that because when we deny people of, the ability to express themselves, then we are denying them true relationship. Uh, Katrina Rice said, no, he is actually strong and well balanced. Emotions are a human thing and need to be expressed in a healthy way for any of us to thrive. This is absolutely true. Sylvia Kowalski said, we all flesh and blood with emotion. It's great. And that's the truth. Mary Lou Rangel said, yes, yes, I believe it's okay for a man to cry. After all, he is a human being. Women and children cry. He is expressing emotion. Vidana P.S. said, men has a heart. Feeling comes from the heart. Oh my God. Men has a heart. Don't forget, wives, your husband has a heart. That is expressing emotion does not make him feel, does not make him less than a man or less than human. Because why? The heart you have is also the heart he has. So feelings comes from the heart. All right. T. Ellis said yes, but please not too often. Okay, like what I said, Ellis is trying to balance it now. Like what I said, you won't allow them to use it to escape punishment. Like you overspend and we're talking about it and you start crying. You talk about his family did this or something and he started crying. That becomes a problem. Okay. Shona Dillon. Shona said, why is this even a question? Yes, it's a question, Shona, because it is happening. You only see what is around you. This thing is real. People are going through this. Women are going through this. Men are going through this. And you know, I have been in the situation when I had my second baby, you know, and she was born, they call it one English flucomelia or something, and she was born without a complete left arm, and I was shocked to my marrow. I was shocked because I am using the best hospital. I'm, I use the best place for ultrasound. I have the, so there's no reason why they shouldn't see that, but they didn't see it. And till today, I still have that feeling like, but why didn't the doctor tell me? But they professed that they did not see it. So every day while I was with the baby as a child, I cry every night. And I pray, I'll pray, Lord, let the hand come out. I will cry, I'll pray, I'll cry, I will pray. So why will it not be a question? Because people were telling me, why am I crying? Why wouldn't I cry? I mean, there are limits to what every one of us can accommodate. So if people want to cry, they have they should be able to cry. So it should be a question. Okay? Dennis said something. Isn't he human, or is he made out of stone? That's the truth. It's not made out of stone, it's human, and everyone that is made, that has a flesh and blood, should be able to express their emotion. Okay, and someone said no, he is human, he is not God, and that is it. This person is human, your spouse is human, they are not God. So give them the opportunity, give them, the chance to cry if they want to cry. If they want to cry, give them the space, give them the shoulder to lean on. You know what, let me tell you the truth. If you don't give him the shoulder to lean on, thousands of people are out there ready to give him the shoulder to lean on, and also the chest to lean on. So when your husband is showing emotion, be there for him, support him. But remember, don't let him use that to escape reality. Always call people's attention to what they are not doing right. And we all need to speak the truth in love. It's very, very essential that we speak the truth in love. I hope that helps someone. I hope that helps someone. If you think there's an iron lady out there who feels, why will my husband be crying? Why should my husband be crying? Why should a baby boy cry? Then help me share this with them, because they need to hear this. We all need to support one another. We all need to lean on one another. We all need to be there to listen. We all need to be there to care. So I'm going to recap. Remember that man is human, just like you as a woman. Know that it's okay if the man wants to cry. It doesn't make him less than a man. When he's expressing himself or his emotion or his pains, and he is probably crying, all you could do is listen, comfort him, and let him know that all will be well. And the next thing you want to do is be sure that he's not suicidal. Ask him. You're still seeing him alive. You're still fighting. You're still feeling his emotional. If he's no more there, he's going to pain you. So ask how you can support him. And if there's a need for him to see a therapist, please ensure that he sees a therapist. Thank you very much for joining me today. So I come your way again. Keep becoming a better you. Because I know that things really, really work for us when we work it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.